Samantha Bee did this routine on her awful, unfunny, terrible, no good, very bad, non-comedic show on TBS. I mean, I've said for a while that by a mile, Samantha Bee is the least funny person on planet Earth. It used to be a running gun battle between like her and Lena Dunham and Amy Schumer and Trevor Noah. And she is just, I mean, the woman's secretariat. She is run out in front. She is out by lengths. Nobody else is in camera view. She's just breaking away at the Kentucky Derby. So here's Samantha Bee doing something supposedly related to comedy, I guess, somehow, talking about all of the vague coded language that's being used by Trump that's anti-Semitic, because I need a lecture. I, Ben Shapiro, need a lecture from Samantha Bee on anti-Semitism, clearly. Okay, Samantha, tell me all about anti-Semitism, won't you?
Mainstream conservatives would never say anything negative about Jewish people outright, but there are other words they use, like coastal elites, globalists, Hollywood liberals, or John Leibowitz. And currently, the biggest, loudest dog whistle is George Soros.
Okay, so let's go through those for just 1 second. So coastal elite is not a term for Jew. Coastal elite is a term for Samantha Bee, who is a coastal elite. How do I know that? Because she's a coastal elite. I live on the coasts. The coastal elites, when people talk about them, are typically highfalutin Hollywood leftists. Okay, and then she says, but I can't say Hollywood liberals, because that is a term for Jew. Hollywood liberal is a term for Jew? Is Samantha Bee Jewish? I missed it. When did she convert? Is Oprah Jewish? Is Jane Fonda Jewish? Like, amazing. I haven't seen them at my shul anytime. In fact, all of the Hollywood liberals who happen to be Jewish I've never seen at my shul, because they don't go to shul, because they don't actually have anything to do with Judaism. So there's that. But it's pretty astonishing. So all of these terms, again, the implication is that if anybody uses these terms, that this is somehow an indicator that you are secretly an anti-Semite who's resonating to secret anti-Semitic messages. You've taken out your Red Ryder decoder ring and you're sitting there and you're decoding all of President Trump's evil messages. Okay, so she's used coastal elites and Hollywood liberals. Those were two. And she said globalists. Okay, so the word globalist has a relatively checkered history. So back in the 1920s and 1930s, there were anti-Semites who suggested that there was a global Zionist conspiracy. And the global Zionist conspiracy was globalist, right? And that was a term that was used by anti-Semites. However, the modern use of the word globalist really does not date back to the 1930s. It dates back to the 1999 WTO, the World Trade Organization riots that happened in Seattle, when people were implying that if you were in favor of free trade, this made you a globalist. That also happens to be precisely the same sort of terminology President Trump uses. When President Trump says globalist, typically he's talking about people who are for open immigration and open trade. Right? That doesn't really have anything to do with Jews. It really doesn't. You know, when there was one speech President Trump gave where I thought that he used language that verged on the coded, right? When he talked about the international bankers, right? Then you start to get into dicey territory. But I'm sorry, globalist is not by necessity an anti-Semitic term. John Leibowitz, right? Calling Jon Stewart John Leibowitz, no, that's a way of mocking Jon Stewart. In fact, if Jon Stewart is so concerned about anti-Semitism, maybe he should go back to using his original name, John Leibowitz. Right? It seems to me that it's sort of catering to anti-Semitism to change her name to Jon Stewart for screen purposes, I guess, right? And then she says that the current biggest loud dog whistle is George Soros. Really? Is David Koch a dog whistle? How about Sheldon Adelson? How about Tom Steyer? Are all of them dog whistles? So again, the implication is, and this is where the left loses it, the implication is that it's not just that you support Trump because of his policies, even if you decry his rhetoric. It's that he is dog whistling to you because you are a dog. And as a dog, you respond to each and every one of his cues. He feeds you a racist Scooby snack, and then you go out and you solve crimes, right? That's what's polarized. One of the things, many things that it's polarizing the country right now.